Picture a world super focused on religion. It's the 1000s and all over Europe, people are being called to fight. This is the start of the Crusades, a bunch of religious wars between Christians and Muslims over the Holy Land. These fights lasted for centuries and changed Europe and the Middle East forever. The Crusades were a mix of faith, ambition and fighting, driven by strong religious feelings, political games and wanting money. The Crusades weren't only about religion. While faith was a big motivator, it was mixed with more practical things. Kings wanted more power, merchants wanted new trade routes, and younger sons dreamed of owning land and becoming famous. To understand the Crusades, we need to untangle all these different reasons. The First Crusade, which started in 1095, kicked off this long struggle. Pope Urban II made a big speech, telling Christian knights to take Jerusalem back from Muslim rule. His words were really powerful, and lots of people in Europe got excited about the idea. Thousands joined up, starting a dangerous journey to the east. The Crusades were a super important part of history, changing how the East and West interacted forever. It was a clash of cultures, fueled by strong religious beliefs and the never-ending want for power and riches. At the center of the Crusades was Jerusalem, a holy city for Jews, Christians and Muslims. For Christians, Jerusalem was where Jesus was crucified and came back to life. It was a place to visit for religious reasons, a real-world symbol of their faith. Controlling Jerusalem wasn't just about winning a war, it was about something spiritual. Muslims also thought Jerusalem was super important. It was where the Prophet Muhammad went on his night journey, a miraculous trip to heaven. The Dome of the Rock, built where Muhammad was thought to have gone up to heaven, showed the city's Islamic history. Because these holy sites were all in Jerusalem, it was like a powder keg. Each religion said the city was theirs, their special holy place. This made Jerusalem a place everyone wanted, something worth fighting for in the eyes of both Christians and Muslims. So the Crusades weren't just wars to take over land. They were battles for Jerusalem itself, a city that represented the deepest beliefs of three major religions. To understand the Crusades, you need to know about the Byzantine Empire, the Eastern Roman Empire based in Constantinople. By the 1000s, the Byzantines were having trouble with the Seljuk Turks, a strong Muslim group moving west. The Turks had taken over lots of land and were getting close to Byzantine territory. The Byzantine Emperor, Alexios I Komnenos, was worried about the Turks, so he asked the Pope for help. He wanted good soldiers to fight off the Turks and help his own army, which was getting smaller. Pope Urban II liked this idea. He saw a chance to help fellow Christians and maybe even fix the problems between the Eastern and Western churches. So the Pope's call for a crusade was partly to help the Byzantines and bring Christians back together. But when thousands of crusaders showed up, many of them weren't very disciplined and wanted to steal things, which caused new problems for the Byzantines. The crusaders, who wanted to be heroes, acted more like conquerors, making things even more complicated for the Byzantines. The Byzantine Empire, already weak, became both a reason for and a victim of the crusade. Asking for help led to problems that eventually helped cause its downfall, changing the history of the Eastern Mediterranean. While faith was a big reason for the Crusades, it wasn't the only one. The idea of getting rich also made people want to join. The East, especially the Byzantine Empire and the Levant, seemed mysterious and exciting to Europeans. They were lands of stories about riches, spices, and fancy stuff. Merchants and traders saw the Crusades as a way to create new trade routes and make money in the Eastern markets. Italian cities like Venice and Genoa realized this early on. They gave ships and supplies to the Crusaders and got trade deals and access to Eastern ports in return. So the Crusades became a way to expand trade and make money for those who knew how to use the opportunity. The chance to steal things from Muslims was also exciting for many Crusaders, especially poor ones. The idea of taking land and riches fueled their dreams. The Crusades offered a way to move up in society, to escape feudal Europe and start a new life in the East. The money part of the Crusades was complicated and mixed with religious feelings. For some, it was a chance to serve God and get rich at the same time. For others, it was a way to escape being poor or to have an adventure. Whatever their reasons, the promise of riches from the East was a big part of why the Crusades lasted for centuries.